Hi everyone, I'm Judy Elliott with Elliott Media, and today we're going to spend some time with Connie Duncan. And Connie is a very familiar face to our community. And Connie, hey, it's great to see you today.
Oh, it's great to see you too.
We're having to do a lot of things a little bit different since COVID-19, but hey, we're making it work, and that's what's important. Hey, I want to talk with you about some things. You and I have tried to schedule getting together for several months now, and finally we've made it together. But I want to talk with you about pursuing your dream. I think it's very interesting how you wanted to pursue a dream at a later time in your life. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, in 1985, I became a TCBY franchisee, and then later West Walnut Cafe, and then when Casey graduated, we went to the Oakwood Cafe. So I've been doing all of that for 35 years, but when I was 18, I wanted to be a flight attendant, but I married the boy's daddy. So no flight attendant. So at age 60, I decided my kids were grown, everything was good. It was time to try it. And so I applied a couple of times and wasn't really sure. And then a friend of mine called and said, Compass Airline is hiring in Los Angeles, and you'll be flying Delta on the small planes. And I said, sure. So I applied, got the job, and then went to training, and training was great. You had to be gone 5 weeks to Minnesota, which was during February, which it was snow, things I wasn't used to, but I passed. And then didn't really even know what I was doing. And met some great friends and lived in Venice Beach in California. But then I found out I could still live at home in Dalton and go fly. So just to go to work. So I'd come home, work at the Oakwood. Then I would just go back to California and fly. And then we started flying American Airlines. So we were a connection carrier for Delta and American. And 6 years I've been doing that. I was also a trainer, instructor, and it was just a lot of fun. I loved my life there. And then with COVID-19, when Delta and American pulled the small planes down, we lost our job. 2,700 people.
Wow. I remember seeing a video that you made. I think it was probably your last day as you were walking through the terminal, and how empty it was. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it wasn't scary flying the last month, but it was eerie. It wasn't scary, it was eerie though, because the people that were there all had gloves and masks, and everybody was taking precautions. The planes are the cleanest they've ever been, which was good. But my last trip was to Mexico, and we could seat 76 people, and we had 3 passengers. 3 passengers going to Mexico and 3 passengers coming back.
Wow.
And it was just sad, because I don't know if I'm going to pursue it again, because now I'll be 67, and I don't know if I'll stay at the Oakwood full time, and I don't know what I'll do. It's only been 2.5 weeks, so.
But I remember seeing so many things where you were and posting and all that. It was just a love that you really had, that flying was just really something you really, really enjoyed, wasn't it?
Yeah, I love the people that I flew with. It was more about your crew and the passengers, but I was used to, I'd have to come home to see my regular customers, because I didn't fly the same route. So I didn't see the same people, and that's what I missed. When I was gone for like 2 or 3 weeks at a time, I would miss seeing my customers, because they've been my customers for 35 years. And
when you say your customers, you're talking about What
at
customers?
the Oakwood.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I just wanted to
Yeah.
clarify that. Yeah.
Yeah, the customers at the Oakwood. So I would run on Facebook, I'm coming home, and then the ones that waited till I came home I would just work just to get to see them. So, and I got to always be home on the holidays and everything. So I just really have had a perfect life.
Yeah.
You
Really,
know,
yeah.
I'm blessed. I got to travel to Italy and to Greece and in October to Barcelona. And it was always with a lot of girls in a group, and it was very inexpensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I would tell anyone, well, being a trainer, I would meet the classes of women that were in their 50s thinking their life was over. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're a baby,
Yeah.
because here I started at 60. So it was just, I would encourage anyone to do it once the economy opens back up. It's going to be a while, I think, before the airline industry is back to normal.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you this, what inspired you? Here you were, what you said, 60, right?
Uh-huh.
When you start, and you're like, since this has been something you always wanted to do, did you just say one day, I'm just going to go for it? And you did?
Yeah. Well, it was so funny. One of the customers, my sister Lisa has Lisa's Cafe.
Uh-huh.
And when she opened hers, I helped her. And I helped her one day, like an hour. And a guy came in and said, Connie, I just flew on a Legion Air. That was my first one that I was hired by, but I wasn't ready to go. Mm-hmm. So, but I went to that training, and you just have to be ready to go because you don't make a lot of money and you're gone. So your whole life changes for a while. But he said, I just flew and you should try that. And I went, well, okay. So I came home and applied. And because I've been in the same job for so long, my resume's good. So I would automatically get hired. And it was just like that day, God was saying, it's time for you to do something different. So for my children, they were so proud of their mother doing something like this. And even though financially it wasn't smart, but it was more about the experiences.
Uh-huh.
And it's been wonderful. And my children were encouraging. And then Casey, too, would always let me come back to the Oakwood when I wanted to. Mm-hmm. And so then I just really had the best of both lives,
Yeah. Well, don't you think, all your children are so entrepreneurs in their own, right. And I think a lot of that maybe comes from seeing you and how you're so determined.
Well, my parents were workers, and my mom had Balloon Bonanza, and my stepdad had Presley TV, and then my daddy was in the electrical, and we just always served the public, and we've always worked. It's just a way of life for us. So I cannot sit home and watch TV. Even this last 2 weeks has been, I've already, where I live on this house, I manage the apartments for the owner, and I've already redone the shrubbery. They're getting a new roof. He loves that I'm home, but I can't be still. So luckily in the next couple of weeks, I'll be back at least to the Oakwood part-time. So,
well, I think people that know Casey Carpenter knows that he can't sit still either. So
he's been a little, I think he's going into acting next because he's been dressing up, selling these, he has a lot of friends that he met in the state of Georgia, so he brings the produce up from South Georgia, and they're really having a good time with that. So yeah. I just think the whole community, our town, everyone has always supported my families, and my sister Lisa, everybody supports them. It's just, we're just servants to the community, and that's where we get our joy.
Yeah.
So I think when you're always giving, you can't help but be happy.
Yeah, that is so true. That also makes me think of a lot of people, like, how has this the changes that we've gone through made a change in us personally. How has it made it to you? I mean,
Well, I unpacked my bags for the first time in 6 years, so you know,
well,
it's
that's a biggie.
yeah, things that I'm finding was my homework, and it's just because everyone lives such a fast-paced life that no one's taken the time, and really sometimes I think it's just time for us to all slow down and enjoy life now.
Yeah.
I went to the doctor today, and she said, "Gosh, I've loved being home, and my husband and I are working out again. And it's people we were too busy. I was too busy,
Yeah.
So I've finished my quarantine now, and I'm ready. It's time. I have 16 grandchildren and 1 great grandchild now, so it's time for me to let them start coming over. So." Anyway, it'll be an interesting summer.
Yes, it will be. It will be, and it's been an interesting, to go through all this. And as we've heard it so many times, we're all in this together. We have been in all this together, and we will be stronger. I do believe we are stronger with this. So
I think it's going to be harder for the community right now, and a lot of people. We'll just have to do things different, but I really feel like we'll be healthier. So we'll be more cautious in things. And I don't look, like I said, for the airline industry to jump back so fast. And the food business will be, slower and stuff, but, we'll just change our life. Yeah. And thank God we made it through it. But
exactly.
I would encourage anyone to follow your dream. You're never too old. My mom at 87 still makes the desserts for the Oakwood. And I told her one day,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. She said, I just don't know if I can stand up and do it. And I went, we're getting you a walker and you can sit there and do it. You're never quitting. And so she does.
Hey, I want to ask you, as you were growing up, did she love to cook a lot? Your mom?
No, the cooking, my friend Sue Mitchell, who passed away several years ago, when she...
I just lost your video, but go ahead. Okay, Connie, are you there? Just go ahead. Yeah, there you are. So she lost... Yeah, so what happened from that point?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess my phone's going crazy here.
Well, that's all right. Our time is really up here, but hey, thank you so much, Connie, for spending some time with us, and we'll get you back on another time. All right?
Okay. All right.
Have a great one. Thanks again. See ya.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.